Okay, for this photography workshop, we're going to be creating light rays in Photoshop. So to begin, we're going to create a new layer in Photoshop right here. And then we're going to zoom in to our picture. And we're going to want to take a sample of some of the light so that our light rays will look realistic. So what I like to do is I like to zoom in really close and try to get as close to the source of light as possible. So in this case, it would be the sun. I'm just going to hit Alt on my keyboard, and then I take a sample, and I don't like that sample, so I'm going to go down a little bit further and get this one. So we can see what we got right here, and we see it right here. Cool. We can always change a different color by moving it over there on our color slider. And now we're going to zoom out of the picture. Okay. So if we were doing a regular brush, we'd be brushing and we'd have a regular sort of straight brush like this. But what we want to do is we want to change it so we have lots of random dots across the entire screen. So to change the brush settings, we're going to go to Window. We're going to go down to Brush. Click on that. Okay, it brings up the brush menu. So to start off, we're going to go down to Shape Dynamics. We're going to change the size jitter up to 100%. We're going to change the minimum diameter of the brush down to 0%. Next, we're going to go down to the scattering button. And we're going to make sure that we have both axes checked. And now we're going to bring the scatter up to the highest percentage possible. And then once we're done there, we're going to go back up to brush tip shapes. And we're going to change the spacing between it so we get nice, evenly spaced out dots. So I'm going to bring it to about 70%. But you can change it or mess around however you feel is necessary. Okay, so now let's take a look at our brush and see how it looks now. Okay, as you see, we have a whole bunch of dots. So we can always make the dots bigger by using our brackets, making our brush a little bit bigger, and then we get bigger dots. So what we're going to want to do now is we're going to take a look at this shadow right over here in the bottom. So as we see, this tree is creating a shadow going this direction right here. So we're going to want the light rays to go in that sort of direction. So to do that, we're just going to take our brush, we're just going to drag down. We can drag a couple of different directions just to give it some variety. Then we can do it up here a little bit, and that's pretty much all we need for right now. We can always go back and add more later. So once we have all of these, now we're gonna create a radial blur, and it's gonna blur all these dots so it looks as if it's just light rays. So to do this, we're gonna go up to our filters, we're gonna go down to blur, and we're gonna go down to radial blur. Now when this menu pops up, your amount might be different, so we're gonna change the amount all up to 100%, and the blur method is gonna be zoom. Okay, so on this little diagram over here, this is basically where the center will be for where we blur it. So we're going to want to take a look at where our light source is, and in our case it's in the middle, the top middle. So we're just going to bring this up into the top middle, and quality can be good, that's fine. And we're just going to click OK. It's going to take a couple seconds, but then as we see, the light rays have popped up right here. So we have the light rays, and now if they aren't in the right position, we can always do Command T to transform it, and we can move it up, down, side to side, however we want it to be. And once we're satisfied with how our light rays look and are oriented, we can just click OK. Okay, and then at this point, we can always change around with the opacity a little. We can, if we feel that it's too strong, we can lower it, do stuff like that. And then also, we have our blend modes here. Our blend modes are a very powerful tool in Photoshop. Just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to just do a color dodge. Color dodge will give us some nice color. Okay, so at this point, after we have our blend mode, and we mess around with the opacity the way we'd like it to be, basically we're all done now. If you wanted to, we could always add some more light rays over here if you wanted to add more coming down this direction. But now we have this. So as you can see, the before, no light rays, and then after, with light rays. Just adds a dramatic effect and adds some mood to the picture. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks.